We're going to talk about GPS holes now, and we'll use the approach plate for RNAV 1 to right at Vero Beach. There are two kinds of GPS holes that you can use. There's a published GPS hole, which you can see here. This is published, just means it's published on an approach plate. This one's also published. And there's an unpublished GPS hole. So maybe ATC might tell us hole south of Bulldog on the 180 course from Bulldog, and left hand turns and 1 minute legs. So we'll be basically holding south of Bulldog, left turns with 1 minute legs. That's an unpublished GPS hole. First thing we're going to do, we are going to fly about 360, and then we'll come in here to do a hold, that the published hold at hockey. All right. Okay, so let's start up the aircraft. We'll put it back at Vero Beach. Actually, we could put it a little closer to hockey. So we'll put it at Treasure VR, and we'll be flying northbound. Alright, so we're simulating that right now ADC is just giving us vectors, fly heading 360. And then they could ask us, well, what do we want to do? We can say we want the RNAV 1 to right approach at Vero Beach with the hold at hockey. So ADC can say, okay, expect that. Expect that. We're going to do a GPS hold. So the CDI needs to be on GPS. And then we can load the procedure. Go to approach, since this hold is part of an approach. Airport is KVRB. And approach, select approach, RNAV 1 to right. And here you can see transition. It says vectors, Bulldog, Hockey, Merino. So it basically gives you all the IAFs, the initial approach fixes. How can you begin the approach at Merino, Hockey IAF, Bulldog IAF, or you can get vectors to final. We're going to choose Hockey, and then we can load the approach. Alright, when ADC tells us direct to Hockey and hold as published, we can go back to procedure, we can activate the approach, and there you can see now it's telling us direct track is 256, so we'll turn to 256. Alright, that's one way to do it. When you loaded the procedure, it put the approach in the flight plan. So you could also just go to your flight plan, hit hockey, direct, and activate as well. Alright. You can see the needle is a little off. You don't have to join the pink line. You can just hit direct, activate again. And 254, make it 254 on the track. Okay, so now we're going to hockey, and we have to figure out what kind of entry we have. So the outbound is 298, right? So once again, put your pen horizontal, it's right hand turns, right side goes up, 298 falls over here, the small part, so it's a teardrop entry. And notice as well there is no timing because this hold is a DME hold, it's 4 nautical mile lengths. So we don't have to start the timer. our speed would usually be about 95, 100 knots, but just to speed things up a little bit, we'll keep the speed a bit higher. Now you learned that teardrop would be the outbound minus 30, right? The outbound minus 30 is only if you're doing a 1 minute leg. Here, this is 4 nautical mile legs. It'll take longer than 1 minute. So it's approximately 20 degrees. The good thing about GPS holes is that the GPS tells you what to turn to and when to turn as well. Having said that, make sure you do not blindly follow the GPS. So 268, 298 minus 20 is about 278. Here is telling us hold teardrop and right to 273 in 9 seconds. So we said 278, close enough. Right to 273 in 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And right to 273 now, we'll turn to 273. Notice we got the flip. That means we're about to cross hockey. Don't follow the arrow. This arrow right now is pointing to the inbound. And the good thing about the GPS, once again, it tells you what to turn to, but it uses the track. So track 273. Okay, it does not use the heading. GPS uses the track, and it also calculates for your wind correction as well. Okay. Now notice we're doing the entry. This hold, the published hold, it can be used either to hold or it can also be used as a procedure turn. So what is a procedure turn? Procedure turn means you can use the holding pattern to turn around and then continue inbound. That's a procedure turn, when you just want to do the entry and continue inbound, right? Or reverse the course. It's also called a course reversal. If you don't want to do that, then sometimes GPS, if you're coming from here, it will ask you, do you want to do a course reversal? If you want to go straight in, you say no. But if you want to do the course reversal, you press yes, and then you do the course reversal and continue inbound. So why is this important? The GPS does not know right now if we're doing the procedure turn or if we want to hold. We have to tell it that we want to hold. Alright, how to tell you want to hold? Press the suspend button. Press the suspend button. Now the holding pattern is depicted. And it's telling us right to 118 in 3 seconds. Right to 118 now. We will turn right to 118. Alright, needles coming in. There's no timing involved. Keep turning right to 118. And you should roll out of the turn, needle centered, and you're tracking the inbound, which is 118. There we go. Now when we reach hockey again, if you're holding, you will see you will get the to from flip, and the GPS will tell us turn right to our outbound, which is 298. Okay? If you want to exit the hold, so if ADC says you're cleared for the approach, or if ADC says proceed inbound on the approach, you no longer want to hold, press the unsuspend button. So it tells the GPS, unsuspend the approach, I want to continue inbound. And there you can see it's taken off the hold. Alright? When you reach hockey this time, you will see that the GPS will sequence to the next waypoint, which is muds, and this line will become pink. Okay? Alright. This is called the $500 button. If you forget to press it, then you might have to end up paying $500 for a new check ride.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
Okay.
But let's say that you do forget to press it. You press suspend, but you forget to press unsuspend. ADC tells you continue inbound on the approach.
That's it.
How do you fix it? If you cross hockey and you press it, it will not help you because it thinks you're still doing the hold, and after you will continue inbound. So you see it's telling us write 297 in 8 seconds. We're pretending we forget to press it. We forgot to press unsuspend. We actually want to continue inbound. Right, 298 now. We know that we have to continue inbound, so we're not going to turn right to 298. There we got the flip. Notice this line is still white, it's not pink. How do we fix it? Two ways you can fix it. You can go to your procedure and you can activate vectors to final. The second way is you can go to your flight plan and your next waypoint is muds. You can click on muds, activate the leg. Activate leg, hockey to muds, yes. And now this line turns pink. Now you're back on the approach. Alright? And that is a published GPS hold. Let's say that you want to go to Bulldog. ADC tells us direct to Bulldog because there's a lot of traffic. We need to vector you out. Direct to Bulldog, hold south to Bulldog, left hand turns. And hold south on the 180 radial. Now you could always go direct to Bulldog. Let me just reduce the speed a bit. You can always put direct to Bulldog, BLD Bulldog. Alright, hold. 180 was the outbound. So we put 180 on the outbound and they said left hand turns, 1 minute legs. Load the hold, activate the hold. You can see it tells us 237 to Bulldog. We will turn to 237 then. Okay, and then you're onto Bulldog and it should show the hold in there as well. And once again, the GPS will help you out, but don't blindly follow it. So you know you're going to do a teardrop entry. Teardrop entry, so it's left hand turns, which will be outbound plus 30. So once you reach Bulldog, we will fly 210. That's what we expect. Okay? Now usually if the hold is part of an approach, you can always load the approach and then punch in the hold. And here's how you do that. So you're holding at Bulldog in order to do the RNAV 1 to right approach. Instead of putting direct Bulldog and punching in the numbers, you can do this. Procedure, RNAV 1 to right, find Bulldog in the transition, load the approach and activate. So now we're going to Bulldog, go to your flight plan. So Bulldog is already there, I'm just showing you how to get to it. Flight plan, Bulldog, hold at waypoint. course is 360 is the inbound, that's correct. Right hand turns is left hand turns, we said. And time is 1 minute legs. Lower the hold and it puts the hold up. Same hold, but the big difference is now we have it as part of an approach. So we don't have to reload the approach or load the approach after loading the hold. Now since by the way, the suspend button is here. Here it says OBS, but once we cross the fix, once we cross bulldog, you will see this will change to suspend. And just speed it up a little bit. And this will actually change to unsuspend, because since we've punched in the hole and we've told the GPS that we want to hold, now the GPS knows that we want to hold. Okay? So it will suspend it for us. When we want to exit the hold, then all we have to do is press unsuspend. So in this case, we don't need to press suspend. So just slow down to 98 knots. We're off a little bit. We can always turn right a bit to get back on the course. One mile from Bulldog. It's telling us hold teardrop. $216. We calculated 210. They say in 216. Okay. 215. In 2 seconds. And 215 now. Okay, so we turn to 215 for 1 minute, and the GPS does the timing for us as well. But when you're on a check ride or a stage check, show the examiner that you know what you're doing. So start the timer for trading purposes, and we time that for 1 minute. Notice on this GPS hole, we time, we turn, but we don't have to twist. GPS already twisted it to the inbound for us. Okay, and notice here it pressed the suspend button already. See, we didn't have to press suspend. When we want to exit the hole, then we press unsuspend. We want to exit the hold? Yes, we do. So we'll press unsuspend, and there it goes. It takes the hold off. All you have is the procedure turn right now. Alright, left to 360 in 8 seconds. Left to 360 now, which is about the same time, 1 minute. So we're turning right now to intercept the inbound. Once again, you don't have to do any timing, but for training purposes, if you're on a checkout or a stage check, show the examiner you know what you're doing. So on the inbound, start the timer, needle centers or wings level, whichever happens first.
Sorry.
Alright, needle centers, we reset the timer. When you cross bulldog, then it should take us to hockey. And you should see this line, it should go pink. Right to 027 in 7 seconds. So we get the heading bug ready. We should see the to from flip, and then it should sequence us to hockey. Right to 027 now. And actually there's no flip, it just sequences us to hockey. Oh, there's the flip. Okay. Alright, so we're going to hockey now, and there's no hold at hockey, because if you start from bulldog, you don't have to do the procedure to it. But let's say that ADC tells us direct to hockey. When we reach hockey, then do a 1 minute publish hold. Do the publish hold, but with 1 minute legs. Alright? Because there's a lot of traffic. So we can go to the flight plan. There's hockey. We can hold at waypoint. The inbound is 118 for the publish hold. It's right hand turns, yes, 1 minute. ADC told us 1 minute. You can load the hold. And now there's the publish hold, but with 1 minute legs. Okay. Another way to do it: procedure, approach, Arnav 1 to right, starting at hockey. Now, since you come from here, once again, it's going to ask you, do you want to fly the course reversal? Because if you start at bulldog, you can go inbound. You don't have to fly the course reversal. So you can, if you don't want to do it, you can press no. ADC told us hold, so yes, we do want to do this. All right, load the approach and activate. Notice it put up the hold as 4 nautical miles. We don't want 4 nautical miles. We want 1 minute legs. So we're going to remove this hold with the 4 nautical miles, and we will put in hold at waypoint, put in our own hold, 118, enter, inbound, right hand turns, yes, 1 minute legs, yes, load the hold, and now it puts up the publish hold, but not with 4 nautical miles, but with 1 minute legs. And now we're doing a direct entry. Notice here, last time we did the publish hold, we had to press suspend because the GPS thought we would want to do procedure to it. Here, we actually told the GPS we want to do a hold. So once again, it will press suspend for us. We don't have to press suspend because it knows that now we want to do a hold. And this will be a parallel entry, so we can expect to turn can either be parallel or it can be direct, either one. And they're giving us parallel. So we'll turn to the outbound, fly the outbound on the inbound leg, which is 298. In 10 seconds. Now, so we'll turn 298 now. And actually 298 is here. If you did the pen method, right hand turns, right goes up, 298 is here, it would be a parallel, not a direct. Alright, so across the fix. Once again, for trading purposes, we'll start the timer, fly the outbound for 1 minute, and since this is right hand turns, first turn in the parallel is always opposite, so it will be a left turn to the inbound minus 45, which is 118 minus 45 is 073. So we expect 073 after 1 minute, left to 073. Alright. Here you also want to stay within your protected area, so we'll go back a little bit to the left to get back onto our outbound track. There we go. So 1 minute. We did a bit of turning, so it's going to take longer than 1 minute. We could just use it what the GPS tells us. Left to 073 in 4 seconds, which was what we calculated as well. And left to 073 now. And that would be the parallel entry. Okay, so that's how we covered 3 things: the published GPS hold, an unpublished GPS hold, and published GPS hold, but with 1 minute legs instead of the 4 DME legs.